In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 secrets of intention, and I'm going to be sharing with you a game plan that if you apply in your life will totally transform it and allow you to see things in a completely new way and to really prepave your way to success. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now on this video, I will be sharing with you exactly how you can pre-pave your way to success. Now, what this means is there's certain formalities for ways that we can apply what are called intentions. An intention is like a will or a determination to have something. It's like a declaration that you will either have it or you already do have it. Intentions are where the power really is. The thing is most people don't have intentions. Most people aren't steering the direction of their life in a powerful way. Therefore, they're thinking the same thoughts they always think and therefore get the same results they've always got. Most people are on autopilot. And I say this not as like the top of the king of the hill and being like, oh, everyone else is like this. I get like that too, and I have been like that for most of my life. The difference is now I'm aware of it and I'm waking up to understanding more about how I can consciously go in the direction that I want with using the power of intentions. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my daily practice for it and how it will totally transform your life. So for this process, understand that intentions, in a way, are sort of like outcomes. So what do we want in life? What do we want out of our day? When we become clear as to what this is, we allow what is called the probability of whatever we focus on to increase. Now, what quantum physics shows us is that the only moment that exists is this moment right now. And we're coming to learn more about what are called parallel realities. Understanding that we are constantly shifting through different parallel realities, that what we think of as time is the movement through these parallel realities and into different perspectives. Now, like I was saying before, everything we think is on autopilot. We think on average 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and of those, over 90% of them are recycled from the day before. Now think about it. You may get up on the same side of bed that you get up every morning. You may go into the bathroom and brush your teeth in the same type of manner, thinking about maybe the same type of thoughts. You may drive the same route to work. You may go to work and talk to the same people, normally about similar things. So what this does is because we're constantly thinking similar thoughts, feeling similar emotions, doing similar things, we create the same things over and over again. So we become, in a way, in reaction to whatever the environment is. And the key and the power of intentions is it allows us to direct ourselves away from the stimulus of the environment into the direction that we want. And when we are focused on a certain outcome, a certain intention, we increase the probability of that actually happening. And it could be something small. The intentions could be, I'm going to have a safe drive on the way to the gym or on the way to work. When I get to work, I intend to have a good conversation with people and to feel connected to other people and to listen when other people talk. So you're like, okay, you're pre-paving your way and you're increasing the probability that those things happen. It's just that normally we just go into work. Get on the phone with someone, there's no intention, it's just get on the phone. Go into the gym, there's no intention to get stronger. Maybe there's an intention to go to the gym, but sometimes it gets on autopilot, so maybe we're not focused on the growth or pushing ourselves or whatever it is. But in general, think of that of intention as something that increases probability. So that's actually the first secret of intention, is that when we set intentions, we increase the probability of something happening tenfold. And this could be something as small as driving safely. It could be something big, such as creating a certain type of abundance in your life. When you set these intentions, and somebody asked me once, they said, what is the difference between desire and intention? Desire in itself is not powerful unless it is realized or translated into that of intention. Now think about it. If I have an intention to put up my hand, I just put up my hand. If I have a desire to put up my hand, I may have the desire, but I may not actualize it. It may not turn into an intention. It might just sit there as a desire. Desire in of itself is not powerful unless there is movement involved or unless there is turning it into intention. Intention is the declaration of that desire. It's declaring that I want this, I have this, or I will have this, or I am this. That's the difference. And when we do that, we increase the probability factor tenfold. Now, they've done experiments before with this in quantum physics using the power of intention. And one of them that reminds me of, I read it in the book, I think, Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. He talks about this experiment, and what happened in this experiment is they took a whole bunch of baby chicks. What happens is when baby chicks are born, they hatch out of the egg, out come the baby chicks. What they do is they pair with whoever's in their environment. They normally pair with their mom, which means they pair with it, they follow the mom around. Have you ever seen a mama chick or a mama chicken and then a whole bunch of baby chicks just following the mom wherever they go, wherever she goes, all clingy and shit? When they're all walking around and following around that mom, they've paired with the mom. Now, what they learned is that you can pair a baby chick with just about anything. You could pair it with a person, and you've seen that before as well, where someone's walking and the baby chicks are pairing with it. Well, that's because the baby chick doesn't have the chicken mom, so it's pairing with the human. Or you could even use objects. It could be an actual inanimate object. The baby chicks will pair with it if it thinks it's their mom. It's like that book growing up, remember? Are you my mother? Question mark. It's similar to that. So what they did is they got what is called a random generator machine, and they put it in an arena. What this random generator machine would do is it would randomly turn, with no systematic pattern, it would randomly turn left or right. And what they do is they put it in this arena, and in this big arena, they mapped out the kind of form it would make. And it would go in a certain direction, and it would look like a whole bunch of scribbles everywhere. It would just go in some random direction. It would cover pretty much the whole amount of the arena over the course of whatever it was, like 10 minutes. It would go everywhere. Now what they did is they paired it with the chickens, the baby chicks, and what they did is they caged out the chicks only into a certain part of the arena. And what happened was the machine that was moving around, all of a sudden, it pairs with the chicks are following it, so by the chicks focused on it, the only place that the machine really would be is in the one general section of where the baby chicks are, even though the machine could still go everywhere, but the baby chickens couldn't. So what happened is that showed that the intention and the focus of the baby chicks influenced the random number generator machine to an extent to where it stayed of this big arena in this little small section majority of the time. Now that's interesting because they've also done this with people when it comes to looking for certain numbers in random number generator machines, where they will look for certain numbers and then those numbers statistically show that they will come out more often if you're focused on it. Well, the thing is both probabilities exist at the moment, but what they are seeing, they are bringing into reality is the one that is more in alignment with their intention, with their desire. That's where intention is powerful, is because it increases the intention of something happening. Now, how can you apply this in your life, and how do I apply this in my own life? Think of it like this. In the beginning, it's going to seem like a little bit of work. It will get easier, though. I promise you that. With momentum, everything will get easier. Here's what to do, and here's what I do. What you want to do is you want to prepave your way to success. Now, what I mean by this is you simply set more intentions in your daily life, and these intentions can be very small. One intention may be, I'm going to have a safe drive to work today. Every time you get into your car, set this small intention. It just takes 2 seconds. It's not like you have to think, I intend, and do some mantra, although I'm sure those could be powerful too. But what you can do is set the intention, I intend to drive safely to work, to enjoy my drive, and to have easy flow through traffic. That simple. Set that intention before you get into your car. Then what you do is in the next segment, this is called segment intending, something that Abraham Hicks has taught for many years. Segment intending means that there's certain segments of your day. A segment could be you driving to the gym. A segment could be you being at work. A segment could be you going to lunch at work. A segment could be you going to the gym. These are all individual segments, but if you set intentions before you go into them, you increase the probability of whatever you are setting to actually happen. So this is the thing, this is the power. If you do this for a week, 2 weeks, a few weeks, you start to develop momentum to where eventually you don't have to do it so much, because when you get into your car, you've programmed yourself to naturally think subconsciously of driving safely to work. When you go to the gym, you prime yourself to naturally think of having a great workout. When you go to work, you naturally think of how to connect to other people or how to be very efficient. This starts to go on autopilot after a while, and now I don't have to set as many intentions because it's all a part of who I am. So segment intentions is I intend ... Intentions are a declaration of what you want in the present tense. You could say it in the future tense, but present tense is powerful as well. Either way. You could say, I'm going to have a safe drive, which is future tense, or you could say, I'm driving safely to work. Flowing in and out of traffic in an easy way, I feel safe, and I'm enjoying this time driving. Something simple like that. Just takes a second or two. But over time, this will lead to more and more momentum. Now, for any level of success, what is necessary is a combination of both focus and a level of belief. Believing in yourself, believing it is possible. But when you focus, that's where the power is, because whatever you focus on grows. Now, in general, when you're doing something you're passionate about, it is so easy to focus on it. Some people ask me because they see that I work a lot, whether I'm on Instagram stories or whatever it is, they see that I work a lot. But I love what I do, and it doesn't feel like work. But I also understand the more I focus on what I love to do, the more that grows in my life. So it's kind of like a win-win. I don't have to try to do it. It just naturally happens. So in the same way, what you can begin to do is to become clear as to what you want, what are your outcomes, and segment intend those throughout the day, knowing that it will get easier and easier and easier to do because it just goes on autopilot. Now, the third secret of intention that I have to share with you has to do with understanding certainty and how to simply know it is done. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, sometimes people, you ever see that there was an interview with Jim Carrey where he was talking about how hope is a beggar. Hope is, I hope this happens, I hope this happens. A hope is a beggar. You don't want to be, hope may be a better emotion than maybe lower emotion, so maybe it's part of the process, but then move beyond hope into a knowing. Not a knowing like the ego has to do everything, and I know I'm the best, and I know I'm the king on the top of the mountain. Know that you can trust the process. Because if you know you can trust the process, things will happen for you. A lot of times we think the ego must do everything. The ego must intend, the ego must have every part of this puzzle figured out. But the key is to also trust the process, because what if the universe, whatever you want to call it, source has such a better plan for you? And if you were open to it, you could then experience the greater plan that the ego can't even imagine. Whatever is the ceiling of the ego is the floor of the higher mind. So the more we become aware of what this is, the more that will become our certainty that we can put into what we do. Now, there's certain things that you're certain about. There's an area of your life that you feel certain in. It could be relationships. If it's not a relationship, it could be your career. If it's not career, it could be a connection with your family. If it's not a connection with your family, it could be a connection to spirituality. If it's not your spirituality, it could be connection to something that you're good at. You have certainty with something. The key is to pay attention to how you feel with that certainty, knowing that you can treat your intentions the same way. When I have my goals, whether it's a certain type of goal, like I have a goal in the next few months, I'm going to be doing public speaking or I'm going to be doing seminars, I treat it with certainty as if it is done, as if it's almost destiny. Of course, I have free will, but I treat it that way because then that certainty makes and allows me to move forward with that strong energy. And it increases the probability that things happen. If I hope it happens, think about it. How does this feel? Which one feels better? I feel certain that I'm going to be speaking in front of a large amount of people. I'm going to be doing seminars. And the other one, I hope I can maybe speak in front of people. I hope I can maybe do some seminars. Which one feels more in alignment when I say it? The certainty, because the certainty is the one that will bring it about. Now I can also trust the process. Doesn't mean I'm like the ego, it's certainty, it is done. My ego did it all. I feel powerful on top of the mountaintop. I like how I keep talking about top of the mountaintop. But the key is to understand you can also trust the process. But I have certainty that that's the direction I'm moving into. So these three things that I share with you right now are the game changers when it comes to intention. Understand, first off, the parallel reality version of you that is successful and that is not successful is this right now. If you set intentions, you move in the direction of making that more probable. Set more intentions and you increase the probability. Secondly, set intentions through certain parts of your day, knowing that as you do that, you increase the probability of certain things happening. And that at the same time, you create a powerful momentum that eventually goes on autopilot. It's like you naturally create those things in your life. And then thirdly, the focus and the certainty. If you're doing what you're passionate about, it's easy to focus. Have certainty that these things are coming to pass. Trust the process. It's this balance of trusting the process as well. And you'll find that things happen easier for you. Now, something else that I have for you that will help you to raise your vibrational set point, this is something that makes intention much more powerful, is when you intend from a higher level of consciousness. I have a free guided meditation that will show you how to raise your vibrational set point. I used to feel like on a scale of 1 to 10, I was about a 3 or 5, with the 10 feeling amazing, 1 feeling not so great. Now, once I went through and applied what I teach or I show in this meditation, I went to a 7 to an 8 out of 10, and I can help other people do that through the meditation. That was the intention. It's absolutely free. It's in the top of the description box below. Also, I'll be doing more live Q&As on Instagram, so if you want to ask me questions, I just did one yesterday or the day before. And yeah, I answer questions, interaction. It's pretty cool. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram as well. I'll go ahead and link it right here. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that little notification gear. Because the way YouTube does things is you gotta hit that button to see the daily vids. I got a lot more daily vids coming, and you don't want to miss it. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.